acknowledge and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend the respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people present today. This morning I want to talk briefly about Rotary's role in peace and peace building, both locally and internationally. Thank you to the Rotary Club of Canberra, Burley, Griffin for hosting today's commemoration. I commend the club for the important work that it does to keep peace building and conflict resolution, which is one of Rotary's 7 areas of focus, at the forefront of Rotary activities in this district. The club was the prime mover in establishing the Peace Bell here in Canberra, and since then has worked to place peace poles in well over 100 schools and public locations in Australia to promote the message of peace. Recently, the club has sponsored a resolution calling on Rotary International to endorse the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, to encourage countries to sign and support the treaty, and encourage Rotarians and Rotaractors and their clubs to persuade their countries to take this action. This resolution was overwhelmingly supported by the clubs in our district of Southern New South Wales and the ACT. Every Rotary district in the world will vote on this resolution later this year. This initiative is consistent with Rotary's long history in promoting peace. As a humanitarian organisation, peace is a cornerstone of our mission. We believe when people work to create peace in their communities, that change can have a global effect. By carrying out service projects and supporting peace fellowships and scholarships, our members take action to address the underlying causes of conflict, including poverty, discrimination, ethnic tension, lack of access to education, and unequal distribution of resources. This is not a new position for Rotary. In 1914, on the eve of the First World War, delegates at the International Rotary Convention agreed that the International Association of Rotary Clubs, now called Rotary International, should lend its influence to the maintenance of peace among the nations of the world. Shortly afterwards, with memories of the First World War fresh in their minds, delegates to the 1921 International Convention amended Rotary's constitution to include the goal to aid in the advancement of international peace and goodwill through a fellowship of business and professional men of all nations united in the Rotary ideal of service. During World War II, Rotary members looked for ways to create a stable and peaceful world. In 1940, Rotary Convention delegates adopted a statement, Rotary Amid World Conflict, which emphasised that where freedom, justice, truth, sanctity of the pledged word and respect for human rights do not exist, Rotary cannot live nor its ideal prevail. Rotary was present at the start of the United Nations in 1945. Rotary International was one of 42 organisations invited to serve as consultants to the US delegation to the United Nations Conference on International Organisation, commonly called the UN Charter Conference. Additionally, many Rotary members and honorary members from around the world attended the conference as members of and consultants to their nations' delegations. Rotary and the United Nations remain committed to creating long-lasting change that enhances international relationships, improves lives and communities, and creates a more peaceful world. Today, Rotary International holds the highest consultative status offered to a non-governmental organisation by the UN's Economic and Social Council. The Rotary Representative Network, established in 1991, maintains and furthers this relationship with several UN bodies, programs, commissions and agencies. Rotary's commitment to peace is practical as well as institutional. Rotary is currently working with partner agencies and through its worldwide network of clubs to help provide relief to the more than 10 million Ukrainian refugees forced to flee the field of battle in Ukraine. Rotary International has issued a statement that it stands with the United Nations General Assembly in expressing grave concern at the deteriorating humanitarian situation in and around Ukraine, and in condemning all violations of international humanitarian law and abuses of human rights against the people of Ukraine by Russia. As a global humanitarian organisation, Rotary takes a proactive stance towards peacemaking by addressing the underlying causes of conflict. We support recent UN General Assembly resolutions calling for an immediate ceasefire and withdrawal of military forces from Ukraine. This aligns with Rotary's deep commitment to promoting peace through dialogue and conflict resolution. At the local level, the Rotary Club of Canberra, Burley, Griffin and other clubs in the district have raised tens of thousands of dollars to contribute to the Rotary Club of Warsaw in Poland to provide direct support to refugees from Ukraine who are seeking shelter in Poland. In a Zoom meeting with Warsaw Rotary in May, we heard that Warsaw Rotarians are providing food, clothing, housing and other support directly to hundreds of people, and I'm sure this number has increased since that meeting. It was also interesting to see the Canberra connection with the Rotary Club of Warsaw, which had been the first Rotary Club in Poland, established in 1931, but then dissolved. It was a Canberra Rotarian, Jack Olsen, who, while posted to Warsaw following the collapse of the Soviet Union, was largely responsible for re-establishing the Rotary Club of Warsaw. It is now one of many Rotary clubs in Poland putting the Rotary ideal of service above self into action. I want to finish this morning by noting that the theme for this Rotary year is Imagine Rotary. In announcing the theme in January, incoming Rotary International President Jennifer Jones played the John Lennon song Imagine. Let me quote part of it. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea.